Hey, what's up ladies and gentlemen, this is David Benjamin from healthywildandfree.com. Today I want to share with you the health impacts of sitting down. Now, it's interesting because our society and the modern society and modern world has been sitting forever now. I mean, we sit to work at desks, we sit down to eat, we sit and watch TV, we sit and sit and sit and sit more. So it's interesting that lately a lot of research has been coming out of the woodwork, just sharing how sitting impacts your health negatively over time. So the interesting thing about it is that it affects multiple areas and ways in your body that you wouldn't expect. So it's really interesting information, and I would encourage those of you that work on a computer or work in an office in a corporate setting to find a way to stand more often, whether it's just standing up to go walk, to grab a drink of water, or go to the bathroom, or just walk around the office, or anything along those lines, because that's going to help you out tremendously, and you'll see why in a minute. So first things first, one of the first effects of sitting is that every minute that you sit down, your calorie burning rate per minute drops by 1 calorie per minute. Meaning, if you sit down for 60 minutes, you burn 60 less calories than if you were standing for those same 60 minutes. So for example, say you work on a computer and you stand and type at a desk like this for that hour, I'm going to burn 60 more calories by doing that than someone sitting down and typing on a computer. So I have a desk here in my house and I work from home, and my desk and my computer, I'm sitting down. I can sit down on my desk, or I can stand up in kind of near my kitchen on a counter ledge. So what I do is I charge my computer while I'm sitting down, and then when it's charged, I stand up and work, and then I sit down for a little bit, and then I stand up, and I just kind of alternate a little bit. So I'm not sitting through the whole day. If I could stand the whole day, I would, but the problem is my counter is a little bit low, so I kind of have to lean over, and it kind of creates bad posture, so it kind of gives me a break to sit down and hopefully straighten my posture a little bit. So that's the first effect of sitting, is your calorie rate per minute drops by 1 calorie per minute all the while you sit. So if you sit for 5 hours a day, that's 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 360 calories that you could have burned that day by standing as opposed to sitting for those 5 hours. Now obviously it takes more energy to stand, so you're going to burn more calories. That's kind of a natural given. What you probably haven't heard is that sitting down also weakens your leg muscles. So I mean, that's kind of obvious too, right, if you just think about it, but standing here, how much does that really strengthen your legs? Well, quite a bit actually, because when you're standing, what you're doing is you are basically, the electrical activity in your legs is activated. So by sitting, your legs are just completely rested, but when you stand, your electrical activity in your nervous system is fired up, meaning your legs are going to be stronger just by standing. So that's a huge and tremendous benefit. Beyond that, your cells become more fatty, so you gain more weight by sitting down as opposed to standing. You wouldn't think that's a huge effect. I mean, sitting and standing, what could the difference be? But by sitting, your cells actually become more fatty and you gain weight quicker. Beyond that, your body is actually more insulin sensitive when you stand. So it's interesting for diabetics or anyone that's pre-diabetic or just could be potentially in the future, that if you stand more often, your body's going to have more insulin sensitivity, which is beneficial because you want your insulin to be sensitive, and your insulin is a hormone produced by your body in correlation with blood sugar levels and digestion and all these other things. So you want your insulin to be sensitive. What happens is when people become diabetic, their insulin sensitivity drops, it plummets, and their body is no longer sensitive to insulin, so then they become insulin resistant. Their body resists insulin, and the body produces more insulin, which is a hormone, and then that hormonal imbalance just causes all sorts of other issues. So your body becomes more insulin sensitive, you burn more calories, you lose more weight, and you have more strength in your legs. So there's a lot of benefits to standing that sitting just doesn't even come close to justifying. Obviously sitting is, more relaxing and you don't have to work as hard or whatever, but it's really important to stand more. And a lot of people are calling sitting the new smoking, because the long-term effects of sitting are similar to smoking. The toxic effects of smoking, obviously not really, well, to some degree, cardiovascular and lung health and cardiovascular health, because when you're standing, you're burning more calories, you have to breathe more, and it takes more energy, so it does take more work. We are naturally inclined standing beings, meaning naturally speaking, from the evolutionary standpoint, we were made to stand, we were made to hunt, we were made to gather berries and fruit and build teepees and walk the plains and all that great stuff. So standing is definitely helpful and beneficial. What I recommend, like I said, if you work in a corporate environment, if you go on Amazon, I'll link some up below. There's these little basically a stand-up desk platform. So you can actually put it on your desk. It's like 50, 60 bucks. And it raises your screen or your computer so that it's standing level so you can stand and work. And the cheapest ones are like 50, 60, 100 bucks tops. If you don't have a desk already, you can actually just buy a stand-up desk that actually can raise and lower. There's one that's like an electrical one that raises and lowers, so you can move it to where it's perfect for you, so you're not still crouched over. Because the problem with sitting and standing is if you're still having to lean forward, your posture, if I turn sideways, your neck and your posture is going to turn forward, and that's going to create that curvature in the back that you don't want. So a stand-up desk platform or actual stand-up desk itself is a great solution for a corporate environment, or if you work from home in a home office. And then just throughout the day, if you're watching TV or eating or whatever it may be, just every once in a while stand up and walk around. Sometimes I'll just stand up from working and I'll just go to my room and do something, or just go, to the bathroom and just like look at my face in the mirror, like shave, or like do that with my hair, and make sure my part looks good or whatever. Just stand up, walk somewhere and do something. You don't even have to do anything. Just stand up and walk somewhere. Because when you take that intermittent break from sitting, it's going to activate your nerves in your leg and your nervous system, the electrical system within your legs, and get your muscles in your legs activated, which is going to be good. It's going to burn a few calories, and it's just going to kind of break that habit of sitting for hours on end. So the real tipping point, the real dangerous tipping point comes at 6 hours a day. If you sit 6 hours a day or longer, that's when the negative health effects start to compound. The calories, the lack of burning calories, the weight gain, insulin sensitivity, all these other types of things. So if you can, like I said, most people work 8 hours a day in a corporate environment. If you can take 2 or 3 hours of that day when you work in the corporate environment and stand and work by standing, or just stand up and walk around, that's going to help you out tremendously. So just try to sit less than 6 hours a day, and it's going to help you and your health tremendously in the long term. So if you want to read that full article, to read all the side effects and everything that happens when you're a couch potato, when you sit too long, click the link right below this video to visit that article. This is David Benjamin from healthywildandfree.com. Make sure to live healthy, wild, and free. Please like, favorite, comment, share, subscribe below. I'll link up all the resources, the stand-up desks, the article, and all that right below this video, as well as the Facebook page, so you can follow for daily updates. Thanks a lot for your time. Enjoy your day. Bye.